Inside Monster Jam.
So, Lear, I got like 2 more hours ultimate. What do you think? Me and you go out to lunch? Come on. Be
You're
fun.
on, Mr. Bernardo.
Whoa. Lunch at 1. Hey, welcome to Inside Monster Jam. It's time for action from Jacksonville. I want to go to lunch with Leah, so check out all the footage we got on IMJ. She's cute, man. Whoa.
Monster trucks haven't foregone their trademark monster tires for training wheels just yet. No, this is the only way the trucks can get onto the track through the tight corridors at the Alltel Stadium in Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's about the only way you can fit a 12-foot wide truck inside of an 8-foot wide trailer. You got to put a little bit different treads on it. We like to use a really small tire, a lot easier to lift. Came in here, we cut the center out, and we welded some lugs in there to make it fit on this axle. And like in a temporary spare, you probably run about 60 pounds, and I actually run 125 in these to get it to hold the weight up.
Check your tire height, too. I don't think that qualifies as a monster truck tire.
Oh, goodness.
Son, these tires just don't get it.
I need you to step on out of the car, son. You'll have to come with us.
Oh, no, not again.
Once the trucks were in place, thousands of families stopped by for the always popular pit party, where pictures and autographs with their favorite drivers is always exciting.
He's been looking forward to something like this for the last 3 years, and it's finally coming true. He just got to name all these trucks and cars out here and keep them in his little head. But this is better than football right now.
Like the noise. There's very few things that can make more noise than these kids, and I think we finally found one of them.
Oh, yeah, these events are great. I mean, it gets a lot of children involved. Kids love seeing this kind of stuff, and they could be doing a lot of worse things than coming here watching a big truck crushing cars. So we're happy to see the kids have a good time.
8 trucks competed on the straight line course where the racing was fast and furious. In qualifying, Gary Porter and Carolina Crusher cruised over Lil Tiger. Then Gunslinger got the win over Wild Thing, even though Scott Hartsock blew out the transmission and was out for the night. After each run, the disabled list kept growing. Monster Patrol and American Guardian both had good air, but Guardian damaged the starter and was done for the night. Florida native Jim Jack and Reptoid pulled off the upset victory over Dennis Anderson's Grave Digger. With all the mechanical problems, Monster Patrol stayed in the grid and raced solo. Digger stayed in the grid and raced solo. Even Carolina Crusher was able to stay in and, you guessed it, race solo. Reptoid was the only one in the round to race another truck. He stayed healthy long enough to beat Little Tiger, but in the semifinals against Monster Patrol, he suffered engine drivetrain failure, which left the scaly Chevy on top of the crushed cars while Patrol headed to the final round. In the other semi, Carolina Crusher beat Pablo Huffaker and Grave Digger. Later in the show, we'll have the final showdown between Carolina Crusher and Monster Patrol. Also on the only show that gives you all your favorite racing, Bigfoot goes belly up in Nashville. High-flying Arenacross action from Rhode Island, and round 9 of the Outlaw Quad War Series, where racing was the only thing hotter than the tempers. Also, we'll head to the Phoenix Airshow as the 3-time aerobatic champion Patty Wagstaff takes us for a ride. All that, and a new truck tries to tack down the big boys in El Paso when Inside Monster Jam returns.
Jerry, show us your best monster moment.
Inside the Pontiac Silverdome, 43,700 people witnessed stuntman Todd Seeley try for and obtain the record quad distance jump of 146.6 feet. With only 300 feet to take off and a mere 200 to stop, it proved not to be enough when he slammed the wall at over 55 miles an hour. He suffered a gash on his leg that required 12 stitches, but amazingly broke no bones in his world record feat.
I think that was a pretty long jump. Looks like I hit and bounced, and I really couldn't get it shut down in time. But, boy, I tell you, I hope all the fans enjoyed it.
Tonight in the Silverdome, 143 feet, 6 inches, a new world record for Todd Seeley.
So you want more monster trucks, don't you? Well, Nashville, Tennessee is the place, and Bigfoot had a little bit of a problem on the round course.
Hey, I'm standing next to the Wall of Fame here in the Nashville Arena. Tom, Dennis, what are you guys doing over here?
Oh, I'm signing a wall next to Alan Jackson.
What about you, Dennis?
Yeah, I'm getting next to Leanne Rhymes here.
There's always competition between the two, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We were just kind of racing.
Yeah, I'm all right on top of his name, and he ain't looking.
All right.
Inside the new Nashville Arena, Digger and Monster Patrol faced each other in the opening round. For Dennis Anderson, it was a short night as Tom Mintz sent him packing in a close race. Then, Mr. Consistent Gary Porter defeated Eric Meager and Bigfoot. But the world-famous Ford stayed in the grid as fast loser. That made Bobby Cox the Clown pretty happy. On his way to the win against Alan Paso and Predator, Meager got Bigfoot up on 2 wheels, but was able to get it back in control and advance to the finals. Now, Mintz continues to run smoothly, beating Carolina Crusher to set up a Chevy Ford final round showdown. The Ford was pumped up on its way to the finish line, but on the last turn, it went up on 2 wheels again. This time, though, Meager cannot save the truck. It gives Monster Patrol the win.
It was the finals. It was time to go. It was all or nothing, and that's the way we play. We play hard. Big toys for the big boys. The big blue Ford came out, went on its lid. I think structurally everything's okay. We'll be back to race again, but it just goes to show how hard we are and how determined we are to take us and our sponsors to the top. We definitely wanted first. We were going out. We're being aggressive, and that's what you have to be. You have to be aggressive out here. And we're out here for our fans here as well, and there's a lot of Ford-Chevy conflict going on. That's exactly what you saw, Ford versus Chevy, and we'll get them next time. We'll doctor it up and be back.
The trucks really seem to be working together, you know, on all different kinds of tracks. It's working well. You know, other than when we have a problem, we seem to be real competitive.
Arenacross.
Rhode Island may be the smallest state in the Union, but when it comes to Arenacross, the action is always big. Number 16, Tiger Watkins of Washington, D.C. Number 2, Joe Kalman of Englishtown, New Jersey. And number 43, hometown favorite Chris Peterbilt. We're all locked in a tight three-way fight for the lead. Spurred on by friends and family, the Providence crowd threw its weight behind Peterbilt, who holds off the hard-charging Kalman and Watkins at the checkered flag for the victory.
Stadium Rough Trucks.
A sold-out crowd of 47,500 packed themselves into the Houston Astrodome for Stadium Rough Trucks Texas style. In qualifying, Jesse Curley was on a top 3 run when he got up on 2 reels and rolled it over. He was okay. In the final round, where the top 4 trucks from qualifying battled it out on the floor of the Astrodome, Barry McElwain and Baja Bucket set the fastest time at 18.56 seconds, but off the final jump at the finish line, the Spring, Texas native face-planted the Chevy. Luckily for McElwain, he crashed it after the finish line, giving him the winning time.
I'm here with Noel Smith, and he's going to tell me what this contraption is behind me. All I know is we were out in the parking lot, and the hood was open. There was nothing there. Why?
Well, there's a jet intake in that hood area, and the engine runs through the full length of the truck. It's a 1997 Dodge Ram Club Cab pickup with a J60 Pratt & Whitney turbojet engine with full afterburner.
One of the highlights, I think, is your driver, my man right here, Dick Rosberg. What's it like to do 300 miles an hour?
It's kind of like telephone poles look like a picket fence. That's it. It's fast, and it will set you back in the seat. In fact, we're probably going to let you sit in it when we start it up if you think you can handle that.
I was like winking in there. I saw 2 seats. What do you think?
I think you ought to do it. Cortez doesn't have the stuff to do it. I don't think.
He wouldn't get in there?
No, I don't think so.
Well, he has hair, and I go for a ride.
More Inside Monster Jam. What about that? The guy's telling us to shut it down. He wouldn't. It's like me riding around in circles. You love it or what?
Yeah! Up next, a Cinderella story about a truck named Cyborg.
Hi, I'm Adam Murphy, and coming up later on Inside Monster Jam, we're going to get down and dirty and talk about what it takes to bring all this dirt in here for a monster truck race. Stay tuned.
Monster Jam.
Let me talk about this truck a little bit. Carolina Crusher. What are the specifics? Give me the inside scoop on what you're running.
Well, this is a 1996 Chevrolet It's a fiberglass body. It has a 512 cubic inch Chevrolet engine in it. It's 871 blower. It's making about 1,200 horsepower.
And when you get a chance to put that power to the ground, it probably would be racing, but during freestyle, when you get to just show off, what do you like to do when you're out freestyling for the crowd?
Well, I like doing wheel stands. You know, I'm starting to become known for my go-nuts. You know, sometimes I can pull them off, and sometimes when the dirt's real tacky, the truck ends upside down. But, you know, we always try to do that.
IMJ reporter Adam Murphy, who basically is a clean-cut kid himself, perfect dental work, gets down and dirty and takes a look at the dirt.
Thanks, Jerry. No matter where we go on the USHRA Monster Truck Circuit, there's one thing that always affects driver performance. It's simply the dirt.
We come here to the El Paso Sun Bowl. We come and it's just the AstroTurf that the football team plays on. We bring in the product, which the product is big rubber sheets of plywood. We start trucking the dirt right after that, and we just keep trucking until it's done. It takes about 10 hours to put the base in and another 10 to build the track.
Just about how much dirt is used on average for a show?
Oh, man, Adam, this show in particular is roughly 2,700 tons, which is roughly 2,000 yards. Oh, probably about 150 truckloads.
So how do the different types of dirt affect each driver's performance?
It's a matter of how they hook up on the line, how the quads and cycles can make the turns. It's called like a good bite. With a good tacky substance in the track, they get better bite. With a good bite, the trucks can actually launch off the line, and it makes for a good race.
Oh, it's pretty and very important, really. It's more like a sprint car or whatever. I mean, we can really hook on the clay when it's wet. We get all kinds of traction. They'll just tote the tires, but on this stuff, we'll probably just spin like crazy on the sand.
I like a track. It's got, you know, more of a clay base where you can get a lot of traction and really come off the line hard and a wheelie and get over that first stack of cars. This one here would be a little more driving into it.
What about freestyle? What's probably the easiest surface to freestyle on?
Freestyle, just give us anything. We'll go at it. Cars.
Press from around the world came out to cover the El Paso Monster Jam. Fans once again had the opportunity to meet the USHRA stars of monster truck racing at the pit party. For Jack Kobima and Cyborg, the Sun Bowl was their debut race on the USHRA circuit, and they instantly became a fan favorite.
It's always exciting when you get here and you start seeing a lot of the stars you see on TV, and you know all your time of doing this. We've been doing this for 17 years on other places. And when we get to come into a show like this where there's a lot of named trucks, you know, you really got a good thing going. Well, the Cyborg's a 92 Dodge Viper body, C6 automatic. So we're putting a lot of power to the wheels, 800 horsepower going directly to the back wheels instead of having to split it between front and rear wheels. So hopefully with this concept, we can get out there and show them something tonight.
Going against the giants of the sport wasn't going to be easy, but Cyborg wasn't about to let a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity pass him by. In a true David versus Goliath qualifying matchup, Cyborg advanced to the next round when Pablo Huffaker and Grave Digger broke the rear drive. Even with the support of 34,000 monster maniacs hungry for an underdog victory, though, Cyborg couldn't pull off the upset against Predator. However, when Ron Nelson had busted loose Fluid Engine on the next run, it would be Cyborg who advanced to the semifinal round.
Oh, this is a great night. This is real good. You know, it's not every day when you get to come and race and enjoy yourself.
Chuck Reynolds ruined the Cinderella story as he edged Cyborg at the finish line and moved on to the finals. Tom Mintz and Monster Patrol would then come on in the semifinals. He shoots by Alan Pizzo and the Predator to earn the other berth in the finale. Now, behind the scenes, Pablo Huffaker was frantically trying to get Grave Digger up and running so he could get him to come back in freestyle competition. He even enlisted the help of his arch-rival Tom Mintz and Monster Patrol.
It's really not unusual. Everybody comes out here to help because a lot of times you only have 2 men on your crew, and, you know, we're ready to go. We're set to go again, and, you know, Paul needs a little help, and I'll be more than happy to come over and help him because he does the same for me all the time.
We're taking parts off of one end, putting them on the back, and we'll run her in 2-wheel drive and just let her eat. If she falls over, she falls over.
All that hard work paid off as Huffaker and Digger blasted out of the tunnel to give the West Texas fans a spectacular freestyle with only 2-wheel drive. Fitz blew out his engine in Monster Patrol in the finals and was unable to close out the night with a freestyle. But it was a great night for the fans and a great night for the champion, Tom Mintz in Monster Patrol.
I come over the first set of cars, and, you know, I knew he was right there, and I felt the motor coming apart. I could feel it, but I just kept my foot in it. You know, I wanted to win. Just a shame it happened, or I'd have really went out there and put on a show afterwards.
And now it's time for the Jammer Question of the Week.
Jammer Question of the Week.
Hi, I'm Tammy. And I'm Jennifer. Our Jammer question is, when was the first monster truck built?
As you ponder this week's Jammer Question, check out the IMJ calendar. Saturday night, June 21st, Pittsburgh's Three Rivers Stadium will host the second annual Steel City Monster Jam. 12 monster trucks, plus quad wars, rough trucks, and off-road buggies will do battle in Pittsburgh. The bad boys of truck and tractor pulling will invade Vigo County Fairgrounds in Terre Haute, Indiana on July 11th and 12th. West Lebanon, New York will host one of the fastest monster truck racing events of the year. 10 of the hottest trucks in the country will go to war on July 14th, 15th, and 16th at the Lebanon Valley Speedway. Hagerstown Motor Speedway in Hagerstown, Maryland, July 18th and 19th, featuring monster truck racing, national championship quad wars, and high-flying motocross.
Here's your Jammer answer.
Hi, I'm Dan Runney, driver of Bigfoot. The answer to the Jammer question is Bob Chandler was the first Bigfoot driver to ever crush cars. He came out in about 1976 in Pontiac Silverdome. He now has 15 trucks, and we're looking to build another one.
You know, I know the answers to all the Jammer questions because I have them written down right here. Now more racing from Jacksonville.
More IMJ racing.
After 8 rounds in the Outlaw Quad War Series, Team North in black and Team South in white were all tied up in the point standings. On the final lap, number 30, Ted Clark, got T-boned by number 19, Darren Brown. After that, it was pure anarchy on the track as the season full of frustration was vented by both teams. Once the dust settled, a 2-on-2 grudge match was declared. On the final lap, number 48, Hank DeHart, and number 99, Randy Dinkins, were neck and neck. Dinkins pulled the North into the lead, only to be passed on the final turn at the finish line.
Oh, them guys can't play fair. They got to cheat, do anything they can. We come out on top. We prove the South the best. We're going to take it all the way to the final season race, and don't wear them out all the way to the end, baby. It's going to be sweet.
With their huge, emotional 5th win of the season, Team South hopes to build on the momentum when they head to Minneapolis next time on Inside Monster Jam. Monster trucks weren't the only ones to deal with mechanical problems on the U-turn course, as Paul Gaynor roughed up his 1978 Ford Bronco over the jump in the Stadium Rough Trucks finale. Ken Allen and his 1980 blue Toyota jumped the gun and was DQ'd. That gave Ricky Jeffries and his 1976 Chevy the win, even though he lost the drive shaft after the first jump.
Now we're at the Phoenix Airshow, where Digger went off freestyling in the desert, and Patty Wagstaff went off in the air.
Of course, the Blue Angels were at the Phoenix Airshow. So was Sean D. Tucker's Power Aerobatics team. The Red Baron Stearman Squadron made an appearance, as did a group of extreme skydivers. And speaking of extreme, Hollywood stuntman Mark Hager performed his world-famous steel wall and suicide spiral stunt. But when the most feared monster truck in monster truck racing showed up, the crowd went nuts. Dennis Anderson performed a special freestyle where he was able to open up the throttle on the 1,500 horsepower Chevy engine.
Dennis Anderson tearing things up here this afternoon. What a great job he's doing.
But if the Grave Digger stole the show on the ground, Patty Wagstaff stole the show in the air. Her incredible flying skills enabled her to win the National Aerobatics Championship 3 times.
It's an extra 300S built in Germany. It's very high tech, built especially for air shows and aerobatic competition. And I use it because I think it's the best aerobatic plane in the world. Favorite maneuver? You know, my favorite maneuver is sometimes the most simple things. So I really like my rolling 360-degree circle where I'm doing snap rolls all the way around. And people really like seeing it from inside the cockpit because my hair, they can always tell when I'm inverted because my hair is going like this. So that's a lot of fun to do.
Hello, I'm Eric Meager, one of the drivers for the Bigfoot team. The truck you see behind me is actually Bigfoot 15, which is the one that I've had since the day we put it together. '94, we came out in the final round against Fred Schaefer, and we knew we were going to have to run hard and step up the program. And we actually stepped up the program so much that we tried to do a triple jump, and it just quite didn't work out. We caught the last jump just at the wrong timing, and I actually got into it, and when the Firestones touched down, all it did was pick up and ride a wheelie. The wheelie actually went so far back, I tore the tailgate, the bed sides off, and through that process ended up hitting the wall, which I'm sure the Silverdome wasn't very happy about, but neither were we at that time. All of our fans in Pontiac, good Ford country, they knew we were out there going that extra mile for them. So they really appreciate it.
After I work out a deal with these guys, I'm going to be back to do some freestyle.
Inside Monster Jam. We'll be right back. Never before, and maybe never again, U.S. Truck Fest, presented by Chevy Trucks. June 13th, 14th, and 15th at the legendary Charlotte Motor Speedway. For the first time ever, over 40 of the world's best monster trucks, plus hundreds of show trucks, sand drags, rough trucks, four-wheel drive truck pulling, extreme sports, manufacturers Midway, live music, and much more. The biggest truck show in the world, U.S. Truck Fest, June 13th through the 15th, Charlotte Motor Speedway. Inside Monster Jam. Final showdown.
6 of 8 trucks had experienced mechanical problems at the Jacksonville Monster Jam, so the only 2 trucks left faced one another in the final showdown. Tom Mentz and Monster Patrol on the bottom of the screen against Gary Porter and Carolina Crusher. Down the drag-style track, Porter just had the edge of the finish line to be this week's 1/900 Pro Race winner. Carolina Crusher actually loses his drive shaft on this hard landing at the finish. Still, not only did Porter get the win, but he was able to put on a show, doing power donuts for the fans without the drive shaft. And Tom Mentz drilled Monster Patrol in freestyle. He even attempted to do donuts with a flat rear tire. Even the Jaguars mascot Jackson couldn't believe this when Mentz tried to perform his trademark wing walk on a flat tire. Ever the showman, Tom Mentz wasn't going to let a little mechanical problem stop him from putting on a show.
Oh, I think I ran great. I had a lot of problems, but, you know, a lot of other trucks did too, but we just kept going, you know. I mean, that's one thing about us. We carry a lot of spare parts because we tear up a lot of spare parts. The truck ran real good tonight. It's just a little hole. We'll get her back together and get her going again. It'll be all right. I don't know if my dad's watching. He better be getting the tools ready and picking up the phone, ordering parts, because I'm headed that way.
Well, I tell you what, it was pretty tough. You know, the track here was taking a toll on everybody's truck. You know, I was running with no second gear. I was just, you know, winding it pretty tight in first gear, trying to shift straight through second on the third. And, you know, lucky the truck stayed together long enough to take that win there. Well, that's the front drive shaft. I had a little vibration in the truck all night long. I couldn't figure out where it came from on my home. So the truck helped me find the problem on itself. You know, we learned a lot here, and we look forward to next year.
You didn't think just a flat tire was going to stop Tom Mentz, did you? No way. That's another great show from Jacksonville. Check us out.
Jerry, it's time for lunch.
Oh, cool. Hey, on IMJ, guess what? The host always gets the beautiful girl. What do you think, like steak and lobster, or you want to get some pepperoni?